What if I told you that a penny you could receive in your change today might be worth far more than 1 cent? Most people toss pennies into jars, leave them in cup holders, or ignore them completely. But hidden among billions of ordinary coins is a Lincoln penny from 2011 that has surprised collectors, sparked treasure hunts, and turned a simple pocket coin into something people actively search for. The coin we're talking about today is the 2011 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary. But as you'll discover, this little copper-colored coin has a fascinating story and a few secrets that make collectors pay attention. The Lincoln cent is one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Since 1909, it has carried the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the longest-running coin designs ever produced in the United States. By 2011, the Lincoln penny had already been part of American life for more than a century. Millions of people used these coins every day without giving them a second thought. The 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. For many years, coins struck in Philadelphia often did not carry a mint mark. As a result, when collectors see a 2011 penny without a letter beneath the date, that doesn't automatically mean something unusual happened. In fact, it simply means the coin was made in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Even though millions of 2011 pennies were produced, collectors are constantly searching through them because some examples can be worth much more than face value. The value often depends on condition, special varieties, and rare minting mistakes. That means two pennies from the same year can have dramatically different values. To understand why collectors care about this coin, we need to travel back to 2011. The United States was still recovering from the effects of the Great Recession. Smartphones were becoming part of everyday life. Social media was growing rapidly. Yet despite all the technological changes happening around the country, one small coin remained a constant part of daily commerce: the Lincoln cent. The reverse side of the 2011 penny features the Union Shield design. This design was introduced in 2010 and represented the preservation of the United States as a single united nation. The shield contains 13 vertical stripes joined by a horizontal bar at the top, symbolizing the original states united under one federal government. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears exactly where generations of Americans expect to see it. The design is based on Victor David Brenner's famous portrait first introduced in 1909. Around Lincoln are the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2011. Although the coin appears simple, every detail carries historical meaning. The Union Shield celebrates national unity. Lincoln represents leadership during one of America's most challenging periods. Together, the designs connect modern America with its past. Now let's talk about what the coin is made of. Many people assume pennies are made entirely of copper. That was true decades ago, but modern Lincoln cents are different. The 2011 penny consists primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. Specifically, the composition is about 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change happened because copper became increasingly expensive. Producing a solid copper penny would cost more than the coin's face value. By switching to a zinc core with copper plating, the U.S. Mint could continue producing pennies more economically. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and measures about 19 millimeters in diameter. While those numbers may sound technical, they become important when identifying unusual varieties or potential errors. Speaking of errors, this is where many treasure hunters get excited. Most 2011 no-mint mark pennies are worth exactly 1 cent in circulation. However, error coins can be a completely different story. During the minting process, massive machinery strikes coin blanks at incredible speeds. Occasionally something goes wrong. When that happens, a coin may leave the mint with unusual characteristics that collectors find fascinating. Some 2011 pennies have been discovered with off-center strikes. In these cases, the design appears shifted because the coin was not perfectly aligned when struck. Depending on how dramatic the error is, collectors may pay significant premiums. Another sought-after error involves doubled features. Sometimes portions of the design or lettering appear doubled due to issues during die creation or striking. These varieties often require magnification to identify, but they can attract strong collector interest. Collectors also search for die cracks, die chips, and other unusual mint-made imperfections. While many of these errors are minor, certain examples can command surprisingly strong prices. Condition is another major factor. Imagine two identical 2011 no-mint mark pennies. One spent years bouncing around pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. The other was preserved immediately after leaving the mint and remains virtually flawless. Even though both coins began life the same way, their values can be dramatically different. Collectors use grading systems to evaluate coin condition. A heavily worn example may only be worth face value. A brilliantly preserved example with sharp details and original luster can be worth much more, especially if professionally graded. In recent years, some exceptional 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies in top condition have sold for tens or even hundreds of dollars. The highest quality examples are surprisingly difficult to find because most entered circulation and accumulated wear. Now let's look at some real-world value examples. An average circulated 2011 no-mint mark penny is generally worth 1 cent. That's the reality for most examples found in everyday change. Uncirculated specimens, however, often sell for modest premiums. Collectors building date and mint collections frequently seek clean examples with attractive surfaces. Professionally graded coins receiving exceptionally high grades have achieved much stronger prices. Some pristine examples have sold for dozens of dollars, while top population specimens can reach even higher levels depending on market demand and collector competition. Error coins are where values can become particularly exciting. Certain verified mint errors have sold for significantly more than standard examples. The exact value depends on rarity, visibility of the error, condition, and collector demand at the time of sale. This is why experienced collectors always recommend checking your change carefully. Most coins won't reveal hidden treasure, but occasionally someone discovers something special. Of course, whenever money is involved, questions about authenticity follow. Fortunately, identifying a genuine 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is relatively straightforward. First, check the date. It should clearly read 2011. Next, look beneath the date. If there is no letter such as D or S, the coin was struck in Philadelphia. Examine Lincoln's portrait and the Union Shield design. Genuine coins display crisp details, although circulated examples may show wear. Pay attention to weight if you're investigating a potentially valuable error. A precise digital scale can help confirm whether the coin matches expected specifications. Magnification is also useful. Many varieties and errors become visible only when viewed closely. A simple coin loop can reveal details invisible to the naked eye. If you believe you've found an unusual specimen, consider consulting a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service. Expert verification can provide confidence regarding authenticity and value. Here's a fun fact many people don't know. The Lincoln cent almost didn't survive into the modern era. For years, debates have continued over whether the penny should be discontinued. Rising production costs and changing consumer habits have fueled discussions about its future. Yet despite these debates, billions of pennies remain in circulation. They continue to serve as miniature pieces of American history passed from hand to hand every day. Another interesting detail is that many future collectibles were once considered completely ordinary. When rare coin discoveries make headlines, people often imagine ancient treasures locked away in vaults. In reality, some valuable coins were hiding in circulation for years before collectors recognized their significance. That possibility is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every handful of change becomes a potential treasure hunt. Every coin tells a story. Every date represents a moment in history. The 2011 no-mint mark Lincoln penny captures a specific moment in America's journey. It reflects modern coin production, national symbolism, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. While most examples remain common, the search for exceptional condition coins and rare errors keeps collectors interested. Collectors love this coin because it combines accessibility with possibility. Anyone can find one. You don't need a fortune to start looking. Yet the chance of discovering an unusual variety or high-grade specimen adds excitement to the hunt. For beginners, it's an ideal coin to study. The design is familiar. The date is recent. Examples are easy to obtain. At the same time, the coin teaches important lessons about grading, mint marks, errors, and collector demand. For experienced collectors, the challenge lies in locating superior examples that stand out from the millions produced. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes the most interesting treasures aren't hidden in pirate chests or buried beneath the ground. Sometimes they're sitting quietly in a pocket, a cash drawer, or a forgotten jar of spare change. So the next time a penny crosses your path, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Examine the details. Because that ordinary-looking 2011 Lincoln penny might be more than just a cent. It might be a small piece of history, a collector's prize, or the beginning of your own coin hunting adventure. And who knows? The next remarkable coin discovery could be waiting in your change right now. Have you ever picked up a penny without giving it a second thought? What if I told you that a simple 2013 Lincoln penny sitting in a jar, tucked inside a drawer, or hiding in your pocket change could be worth far more than 1 cent? Most people spend these coins every day without looking closely. But collectors know that sometimes the smallest details can turn an ordinary penny into a surprisingly valuable treasure. The 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that has captured the attention of collectors across the United States. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary. It has Abraham Lincoln on the front, a shield on the back, and the date 2013. Nothing seems unusual. Yet certain examples of this coin have become highly sought after because of their condition, unique varieties, and collectible appeal. To understand why, we need to travel back to 2013. The year 2013 marked another chapter in the long-running story of the Lincoln cent, one of America's most recognizable coins. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. More than a century later, Lincoln still appeared on the nation's 1-cent coin. By 2013, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year to meet demand. These coins were struck at several mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. The no-mint mark version of the 2013 Lincoln penny was produced in Philadelphia. For most Lincoln cents struck in Philadelphia, no mint mark appears on the coin. That means when collectors refer to a 2013 no-mint mark penny, they are talking about a coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint has a rich history dating back to the earliest days of the United States. It was America's first federal mint and has produced countless coins that have passed through the hands of generations. Every 2013 no-mint mark penny carries a small piece of that history. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the front, known as the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design was originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and has appeared on Lincoln cents since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Around Lincoln's portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2013. If the coin was struck in Philadelphia, you won't see a mint mark near the date. Turn the coin over and you'll find a shield design. This reverse design was introduced in 2010 and represents Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single united nation. The shield contains 13 vertical stripes connected by a horizontal bar, symbolizing strength through unity. The reverse also includes the words United States of America, 1 cent, and the national motto E pluribus unum. The coin may look like solid copper, but appearances can be deceiving. Since 1982, most Lincoln cents have been made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. The 2013 penny contains about 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. So if billions were produced, why do collectors pay attention to this coin? The answer lies in condition and errors. Most 2013 pennies entered circulation immediately after leaving the mint. They bounced through cash registers, rolled around in pockets, and collected scratches, dents, and where. As a result, finding a perfectly preserved example becomes increasingly difficult as time passes. Collectors place tremendous value on coins that remain in pristine condition. A 2013 no-mint mark penny that looks freshly struck, with bright original surfaces and virtually no imperfections, can command a much higher price than a worn example. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification and assign numerical grades. The highest grades represent coins that are nearly flawless. Even though millions of 2013 pennies exist, very few survive in truly exceptional condition. Then there are mint errors. Coin errors occur when something goes wrong during the manufacturing process. These mistakes can create unique coins that stand out from the billions of normal examples. Some collectors search for off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin blank wasn't positioned correctly during striking. Others look for double strikes, die cracks, die chips, or other unusual features created during production. One variety that attracts attention involves doubled elements in certain areas of the design. While major double die varieties are rare, collectors carefully inspect 2013 pennies under magnification, hoping to discover unusual doubling or other characteristics that could increase value. Another error that occasionally appears involves die breaks. As mint dies wear down over time, small cracks or raised areas can develop. These imperfections transfer onto the coins they strike, creating distinctive collectible varieties. Because error coins are produced accidentally, their numbers are often much lower than normal coins. That scarcity can make them highly desirable. Now let's talk about value. If you find an ordinary circulated 2013 no-mint mark penny, it will usually be worth only a few cents. In many cases, its value remains close to face value. However, the story changes dramatically for coins in exceptional condition. Uncirculated examples often sell for several dollars, especially if they display strong luster and attractive surfaces. Higher grade examples certified by professional grading companies can sell for significantly more. Some top-grade specimens have sold for dozens or even hundreds of dollars depending on their certification grade and market demand. Collectors are willing to pay premiums for coins that rank among the finest known examples. Error coins can command even stronger prices. Certain striking errors, off-center examples, and dramatic mint mistakes have sold for substantial amounts because each one is unique. Imagine finding a penny worth $50, $100, or even more among a pile of spare change. That's exactly the possibility that keeps collectors searching. Of course, not every unusual-looking coin is valuable. That's why authentication is important. If you believe you've found a valuable 2013 penny, start by examining the date carefully. Make sure it genuinely reads 2013 and has no signs of alteration. Next, check for the absence of a mint mark. Remember, Philadelphia cents from 2013 normally have no mint mark. That alone does not make the coin rare. Many beginners mistakenly assume that no mint mark means an error. In this case, it's completely normal. Then inspect the coin under magnification. Look for unusual doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, or other features that differ from standard examples. Weight can also provide clues. A digital scale capable of measuring fractions of a gram can help verify whether the coin falls within expected specifications. Significant deviations may indicate damage, alteration, or in rare cases an unusual mint error. Be cautious of claims you encounter online. Videos and social media posts sometimes suggest that every 2013 penny is worth thousands of dollars. In reality, most are common. Genuine value usually comes from exceptional condition, certified grades, or documented mint errors. One of the most effective ways to confirm authenticity is through professional grading services. These organizations examine coins, verify their authenticity, and assign grades that collectors trust. Now here's a fun fact many people don't realize. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in the world. Millions of people have assembled penny collections at some point in their lives. For many collectors, Lincoln cents serve as the gateway into the fascinating world of numismatics. Another surprising fact is that pennies often cost more to produce than their face value. Despite ongoing discussions about potentially eliminating the 1-cent coin, the Lincoln penny remains a powerful symbol of American history and culture. The shield reverse on the 2013 penny also represents a relatively modern chapter in the coin's story. Many older collectors still remember the Lincoln Memorial reverse that appeared from 1959 through 2008. The shield design connects the modern series with Lincoln's legacy of preserving the Union during one of America's most challenging periods. There's also a thrill associated with searching modern coins. While classic rare coins often cost hundreds or thousands of dollars, modern coins like the 2013 penny can still be found in circulation. That means anyone can participate in the hunt. Collectors love this coin because it combines accessibility with opportunity. Nearly everyone has encountered a 2013 penny. Yet hidden among ordinary examples may be exceptional high-grade pieces or unusual errors waiting to be discovered. For some collectors, the excitement comes from building complete date and mint collections. For others, it's the challenge of finding the highest quality examples possible. And for error collectors, every penny represents a potential surprise. That's what makes coin collecting so captivating. You never know what might appear in your next handful of change. The next time a penny lands in your palm, take a closer look. Check the date. Examine the details. Notice the condition. That small copper-colored coin may have traveled through countless hands before reaching yours, carrying with it a story of American history, craftsmanship, and possibility. The 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny may not be the rarest coin ever produced, but it reminds us of something every collector understands. Value isn't always obvious at first glance. Sometimes the most interesting treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to notice them. And who knows? The next penny you find could be the one that turns an ordinary moment into an unforgettable discovery. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep looking closely at the coins that pass through your hands every day. Because in the world of coin collecting, even a single penny can tell an extraordinary story. Have you ever picked up a penny from your pocket, glanced at it for a second, and tossed it into a jar without a second thought? What if one of those ordinary-looking coins was hiding a story that millions of people never knew? And what if a simple 2014 Lincoln penny could be worth far more than its face value under the right circumstances? Stay with me, because this small copper-colored coin has a fascinating story that might change the way you look at every penny you find. The 2014 Lincoln penny is one of the modern cents produced by the United States Mint. At first glance, it looks like countless other pennies that pass through cash registers every day. But behind this tiny coin lies a rich history connected to one of America's most beloved presidents, modern coin collecting, and some surprising varieties that have captured the attention of collectors across the country. To understand why this coin matters, we need to go back to the beginning of the Lincoln Cent series. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Before then, American coins typically featured symbolic figures rather than real people. Lincoln became the first actual person to appear on a regularly circulating United States coin. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent went through several design changes. Different reverse designs appeared as America moved through different eras. By 2010, a new reverse design was introduced known as the Union Shield design. This design remains on Lincoln cents today, including the 2014 penny. The D mint mark on the coin tells us that it was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Millions upon millions of Lincoln cents were struck there in 2014. In fact, over 4 billion 2014 Lincoln cents were produced. That number may sound enormous, and it is. Because of that huge mintage, most examples found in circulation are worth only 1 cent. But coin collecting is never that simple. Sometimes value comes not from how many coins were made, but from how many survive in exceptional condition. Other times, value comes from unusual minting mistakes, collector demand, or unique circumstances that make certain examples stand out from the crowd. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the front or obverse, you'll see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. This portrait was originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Around Lincoln are the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2014. You'll also notice the small D mint mark beneath the date. Flip the coin over and you'll find the Union Shield design. The shield symbolizes Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single nation. Across the top of the shield appears a banner bearing the motto E pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. The design reflects national unity and strength. Although many people still refer to these coins as copper pennies, modern Lincoln cents are actually made mostly of zinc. Since 1982, the composition has been approximately 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating covering the surface. This change was made because the rising cost of copper made it too expensive to produce pennies using the older bronze composition. The 2014 D penny weighs about 2.5 grams and measures roughly 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Those specifications may seem ordinary, but serious collectors often use them to verify authenticity and identify unusual mint errors. Now let's talk about the part collectors find most exciting: errors and varieties. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the manufacturing process. These mistakes can create coins that are dramatically different from normal examples. While most 2014 D pennies are common, certain error coins have attracted significant collector interest. One example is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly positioned during striking. The resulting coin may have part of its design missing while showing a blank area on one side. Depending on how dramatic the error is and how much of the date remains visible, these coins can sell for substantial premiums. Another collectible error is a broad strike. In this case, the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally keeps the metal confined. The result is a penny that appears larger and flatter than normal. Collectors also search for double die varieties. These occur when slight misalignments happen during the creation of the coin dies. Certain letters, numbers, or design elements may appear doubled under magnification. While not every form of doubling is valuable, true double dies can attract strong collector demand. There are also die cracks, cut errors, clipped planchets, and other unusual minting mistakes that occasionally appear on 2014 D pennies. Because error coins are relatively scarce compared to normal circulation pieces, collectors are always on the lookout for them. But what about regular 2014 D pennies? Can they be valuable too? The answer is yes, particularly in high grades. When coin collectors talk about condition, they are referring to how well a coin has been preserved. A penny that spent years bouncing around in pockets and cash registers will show scratches, wear, and discoloration. A coin that was carefully stored immediately after leaving the mint may remain nearly perfect. Professional grading services evaluate coins using a numerical scale. The highest grades are extremely difficult to achieve because even tiny imperfections can lower a coin's score. For the 2014 D Lincoln penny, common circulated examples are generally worth face value. Uncirculated examples may bring modest premiums. However, coins certified in exceptionally high mint state grades can command surprisingly strong prices because so few survive in pristine condition. There have been examples of top-grade 2014 D Lincoln cents selling for dozens or even hundreds of dollars depending on their certification, eye appeal, and market demand at the time of sale. Some registry set collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples, driving prices higher for coins at the very top of the grading scale. This creates an interesting situation. A penny that most people ignore could become highly desirable if it possesses extraordinary quality. Imagine opening a roll of pennies from the bank and discovering a nearly flawless example. To the average person, it's just another cent. To the right collector, it might represent a difficult addition to a competitive collection. Now let's discuss how to identify a genuine 2014 D Lincoln penny. The first step is examining the date and mint mark. The date should clearly read 2014, and the D mint mark should appear beneath the date on the obverse side. Look carefully at the lettering and details. Authentic coins display sharp design elements consistent with official United States mint production. Weight is another useful indicator. A standard 2014 D penny should weigh approximately 2.5 grams. Significant deviations may indicate damage, alteration, or other issues. Collectors also pay attention to the coin's color and surface. Genuine examples should show the familiar appearance associated with modern copper-plated zinc cents. Unusual textures, suspicious coloring, or evidence of tampering may raise concerns. When dealing with valuable error coins or exceptionally high-grade examples, professional authentication and grading can provide additional confidence. These services examine coins carefully and encapsulate genuine examples in protective holders. One of the most surprising facts about the 2014 penny is how many people overlook them entirely. Because they are modern coins, most individuals assume they cannot possibly be collectible. Yet history has shown that today's pocket change often becomes tomorrow's sought-after collectible. Think about collectors decades ago who ignored certain coins because they seemed too common. Many later discovered that pristine examples became increasingly difficult to find as years passed. Modern coins often follow a similar path. Another interesting detail involves the Union Shield reverse. Although millions of Americans see this design regularly, many never stop to consider its symbolism. The shield's vertical stripes represent the states, while the horizontal bar across the top symbolizes the federal government holding those states together. It is a subtle tribute to Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during one of the most challenging periods in American history. For collectors, that historical connection adds another layer of meaning. The coin is not simply a piece of metal. It represents a continuation of a series that has honored Lincoln for well over a century. Collectors love the 2014 Lincoln penny for several reasons. Some enjoy building complete date and mint collections of Lincoln cents. Others specialize in modern coins and seek the highest grade examples available. Error collectors hunt for unusual varieties that escape the mint. And many hobbyists simply appreciate the challenge of finding exceptional coins in everyday circulation. What makes coin collecting exciting is the treasure hunting aspect. You never know when a routine search through pocket change might reveal something special. Every penny carries the possibility of discovery. That sense of possibility keeps collectors searching through coin rolls, visiting coin shows, studying auction results, and examining their change with fresh eyes. The next great find could be sitting unnoticed in a jar, a drawer, or a bank roll waiting to be discovered. So the next time a 2014 Lincoln penny lands in your hand, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check the condition. Examine the details. Look for unusual features or minting errors. You may find nothing more than an ordinary cent. Then again, you might uncover a coin that tells a remarkable story. After all, some of the most fascinating treasures aren't hidden in ancient shipwrecks or buried beneath the ground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, passing from one hand to another every single day. And that raises an intriguing question. How many valuable coins have already passed through your hands without you ever noticing? The answer might be far more surprising than you think. Here is your complete 10-minute YouTube documentary script. Have you ever tossed a penny into a jar without even looking at it? What if one of those ordinary-looking coins was actually worth far more than a single cent? Believe it or not, some collectors are already searching through pocket change and coin rolls looking for a modern penny that could become one of the most talked about Lincoln cents of its generation. Today, we're taking a close look at the 2023 Lincoln penny, a coin that millions of Americans have seen but very few have truly examined. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American life for more than a century. It has passed through countless hands, filled piggy banks, disappeared into couch cushions, and even sparked treasure hunts among collectors. But every year brings new coins, new varieties, and sometimes unexpected surprises. The 2023 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that has attracted attention from collectors, coin hunters, and everyday people curious about what might be hiding in their spare change. At first glance, the 2023 Lincoln penny may look like any other modern cent. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union Shield design on the back. Yet beneath its ordinary appearance lies a fascinating story involving American history, modern coin production, collector demand, and the possibility of valuable mint errors. To understand why this coin matters, we first need to go back in time. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Before that, American coins rarely featured real historical figures. The Lincoln cent changed everything. It became the first regular circulating U.S. coin to display the portrait of an actual person. Over the decades, the penny's design evolved. Wheat ears appeared on the reverse from 1909 through 1958. The Lincoln Memorial replaced them in 1959. Then, in 2010, the Union Shield design was introduced and remains in use today. Fast forward to 2023. The United States Mint continued producing Lincoln cents despite ongoing debates about whether the penny should remain in circulation. The Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark beneath the date, struck hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation across the country. The Denver Mint itself has a rich history. Established in the early 1900s, it became one of America's most important coin-producing facilities. Coins bearing the D mint mark have been collected for generations, and many famous rarities originated there. The 2023 D Lincoln penny represents another chapter in that long story. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the front, known as the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln facing right. The word liberty appears to his left. The year 2023 and the D mint mark appear to his right. Above Lincoln's portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse is the Union Shield. This design symbolizes the strength and unity of the United States. A banner stretches across the shield displaying the denomination 1 cent, while United States of America appears above. The motto E pluribus unum is also featured prominently. The design is clean, modern, and packed with symbolism. The shield represents a nation joined together under one federal government, a fitting tribute to Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War. Now let's talk about what the coin is made of. Many people assume pennies are solid copper. That hasn't been true for decades. The 2023 D Lincoln penny is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of about 19 millimeters. While that may sound ordinary, the composition itself is part of a larger story. Rising metal costs have made penny production increasingly expensive. In fact, it often costs more than 1 cent to manufacture a penny. This ongoing issue has fueled discussions about the future of the denomination. Some experts believe future generations may look back at modern pennies as relics from a disappearing era. But here's where things get interesting. Most 2023 D Lincoln pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. However, collectors aren't necessarily searching for ordinary examples. They're searching for something much more exciting: high-grade specimens and mint errors. A mint error occurs when something goes wrong during the coin-making process. These mistakes can create unusual coins that become highly desirable among collectors. For the 2023 D Lincoln penny, collectors have reported various production anomalies, including off-center strikes, die chips, die cracks, strike-through errors, and doubled features. While not every reported error becomes valuable, genuine examples can command impressive premiums. Imagine receiving a penny in change and discovering that part of the design is missing because the coin was struck off-center. Or finding a coin with unusual doubling visible in the lettering. These are the types of discoveries that keep collectors searching. Even small errors can transform a 1-cent coin into a collectible worth dozens or even hundreds of dollars. Condition also plays a major role. Coins are graded on a scale that measures their state of preservation. Most pennies entering circulation quickly develop scratches, wear, and discoloration. But coins that remain in pristine condition can be significantly more valuable. Collectors often seek examples graded mint state 67, mint state 68, or even higher. These nearly perfect coins are difficult to find because even minor handling can reduce a coin's grade. A 2023 D Lincoln penny pulled directly from a mint roll and preserved carefully has a much better chance of achieving a premium grade than one found after months or years in circulation. This brings us to the question everyone wants answered. How much is a 2023 D Lincoln penny actually worth? Circulated examples generally remain worth face value. If you find one in your pocket today, it will usually spend just like any other penny. However, uncirculated examples can sell for a few dollars, especially when preserved in excellent condition. Certified high-grade examples have sold for significantly more. Depending on the grade and market demand, top-quality specimens may sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars. Exceptional examples that achieve elite grades can attract strong bidding from collectors seeking the finest known pieces. Error coins tell an even more dramatic story. Certain verified mint errors have sold for prices far beyond face value. The exact value depends on the type of error, its visibility, rarity, and collector demand. Some dramatic errors can reach hundreds of dollars, while particularly unusual examples occasionally exceed that range. The important lesson is this: not every 2023 penny is valuable, but the right one absolutely can be. So how can you tell if you've found something special? Start by examining the coin carefully under good lighting. A magnifying glass can help reveal details that aren't visible to the naked eye. Look for unusual doubling in the letters or numbers. Check whether the design appears centered. Inspect the surface for raised lines that could indicate die cracks. Pay attention to missing details, strange marks, or anything that looks different from other pennies. Compare your coin with a normal example from the same year. Differences often become much easier to spot when two coins are viewed side by side. If you believe you've discovered a significant error, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce collector value. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consider seeking professional evaluation. Counterfeiters generally focus on high-value rare coins rather than ordinary modern pennies. However, altered coins do exist. Some individuals attempt to create fake errors by modifying genuine coins after they leave the mint. That's why authentication from a respected grading service can be valuable for potentially important finds. Now let's explore some surprising facts about the 2023 Lincoln penny. One interesting detail is that many collectors are building complete year and mint collections that include every Lincoln cent issued annually. Even though modern pennies are common, demand remains strong because collectors want complete sets. Another fascinating fact is that future rarity can be unpredictable. Many coins considered ordinary today become difficult to locate decades later because people fail to preserve them. Think about it this way. In the early years of coin collecting, countless individuals spent coins that would later become famous rarities. At the time, nobody imagined those coins would someday be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. The same possibility, however small, fuels interest in modern coins today. There's also the excitement of the hunt. Unlike many collectibles that require significant investment, searching for valuable pennies is accessible to almost everyone. A collector can examine pocket change, bank rolls, or coin jars and potentially make an interesting discovery. That sense of possibility keeps people engaged. Collectors also appreciate the connection between coins and history. Even a modern penny reflects the economic conditions, manufacturing technology, and cultural priorities of its era. The 2023 Lincoln penny represents a snapshot of America in the early 21st century. It tells a story about modern minting, inflation debates, national symbols, and the continuing legacy of Abraham Lincoln. For many collectors, that's what makes the hobby so rewarding. Every coin has a story. Some stories involve famous historical events. Others involve minting mistakes, record-breaking auctions, or unexpected discoveries in everyday change. The 2023 Lincoln penny may never become one of the rarest coins in American history, but it has already captured the attention of thousands of collectors who understand that today's ordinary coin can become tomorrow's sought-after collectible. The next time you receive a penny in change, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check the date. Find the mint mark. Examine the details. You never know what you might discover. After all, some of the most exciting finds in coin collecting begin with a simple question. What if this penny is different? And somewhere right now, sitting unnoticed in a cash register, a coin jar, or a pocket full of change, there could be a 2023 Lincoln penny waiting for someone curious enough to look a little closer. Maybe that someone will be you.